two, three. I'm hearing what my spirit says, the still small voice inside me leads me on to new directions. I am ready.
I got into what I do not to be a drone pilot, not to run a music network, not to even speak on any of this stuff, but because no one else was doing it. With all the tools and technologies and involvement and rah-rah and all the lives that matter and problems that exist still, nothing's been done.
Brothers need to see other things we were doing as opposed to the things that other people created for us to
Some
do.
people, well, first of all, it's criminal. Just the fact that we're not making it happen. I don't think that we need to go into these neighborhoods with I don't think we need to go into these neighborhoods and say, okay, this is what you need to do. What I think, because what we've said is philanthropists and bleeding hearts, people want to help from outside the community is, well, you need more coats and you need more free healthcare and you need more buses to go here. What we need is my cousin, who's actually a genius, to actually be funded for what he's planning to produce. Because once he produces his, he's going to employ 10 more people like me, who, of the 10, one of us is going to want to be like my cousin. So we're going to drive that direction too. And after a while, we'll expand our own economic base. Philanthropy is not about expanding the economic base. It's about managing the current level of the economic base to stay in place. And I think it's doing that in preparation for gentrification. I'm not sure. I think that the management of the ability to keep people stuck at the same economic, in that same economic pressure cooker is done to kind of get some of them to fall off, some of them to leave, as other people come into those areas. These are great areas, great real estate. But because there's no rapport between ever City Hall or the Black community, I mean real rapport. Like, I can walk in and say, I've got a project, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Who's the guy? Versus, well, we don't, so and so. I've walked in with my white counterparts to do the same thing. And the reception is different. The Maury Povich Effect. They only see you as the baby daddy. They only see you as a number of other ills that have become a famous TV show that's tearing down the fabric of America. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, the kids in my neighborhood, we didn't have to go through what kids do today. Like, the weirdest thing that happened in my neighborhood was when me and a buddy of mine ran into a turkey. I guess that turkey fell off. I don't know what happened. We were like eight years old, and we were the only ones that saw like these two turkeys roaming throughout our neighborhoods. As a matter of fact, we tell other kids, and then it got so bad to a point where we'd be like, "Hey, there's the turkey right now," and they'd be like, "There's no turkey behind me. I'm not turning around. You're not gonna fake me out on some turkey, no fool." But I think that when you see 14, 15, 16-year-olds repeatedly engaging in these activities, it's not some mental illness. It is the ability to cope with their environment. You don't know what they woke up to. You don't know what they woke up to for the past 16 years. There's a good chance that, given this is where I live, there's a good chance that there will be more children like that more children will, in response to the needs and the stimuli in their environment, will begin to look like the enemy to the mainstream. This is something that we cannot let happen. We normalized the killing of Native Americans. We made movies about it. We went to movies about it. We had superstars in the movies showing how we wiped out Native Americans. As kids, we played games where you're going to be a cowboy or you're going to be an Indian. We're going to try to kill each other. We made that cool. There's no reason to suspect, given the statistics, that it won't become cool for people who believe that we have a radical group of youth trying to take over our cities. And whether they are governmental forces or just really good hunters, people come into our neighborhoods to help in the killing of our kids. We're normalizing it right now. You know that, right? It's normal for a 4-year-old kid to get shot. Killed? Maybe. Baby? Shot. Dead? Not yet. Tomorrow we'll have a mass shooting. I remember when postal shootings, like post office shootings or office workplace shootings were, that was weird. And then that gave way to school shootings, which was weird and now normal. Our next cannot be the worst. It cannot be the most evil. There's no reason for it. Although it's popular. And if we continue to popularize things because they just seem to be normal, regardless of their effect, good or evil, we do nothing more than perpetuate evil. So my push into business, I know the chances of having a business start off the ground by going the traditional route is not going to work. I know that the online public offering is going to work because, well, one, it's just accessible to people. I would say get some church groups together, get your community groups together, put together a pool, put some money in, watch what we do. I'll keep updating, exactly what the business is doing, and some cool stuff. We've got some cool updates coming up. This is not about that. This is about the beginning of systems, the next level systems that we need to accommodate our economics, to accommodate our cultural environment, to create a level set so that we can get back to where we need to be. The technology's there. I guess I can explain this. In, let's say the 50s. In the 50s, banks, corporations, insurance companies, they used computers, but they didn't use them in the way that scientists were using them. They were using them to basically store stuff, right? How much money was in Steve's bank account? We need to keep track of that and put some money in. Then at one point they decide, hey, we need more software so that our bank teller could actually see how much money was in Steve's bank account. And so you would have the place where the stuff is stored someplace, and you have somebody on roller skates go get it's like an 8-track tape with Steve's data on it, and they put it in a machine, and that information will go up to the customer service person, and the teller or whatever will say, hey, here's your lollipop, and you've got $5 billion in the bank, right? And then one day, the bank said, or someone said, hey, I can write software that'll give you the ability to be a teller and, or at least help as an accountant access the banking information, like a small business program or something. So people started writing small business applications that help them manage their banking from their business. They didn't have to go to the bank, but now they had access to all this data. So the bank actually built up a bigger data system because of the folks that were working externally now. They had these windows open. As we went forward, more people, the more time went on, more people had access to storage. They had access to bigger pipes to push this data through. They had devices that could see more of this data in better ways, to the point where around 2000, all of these things became the best of breed things, and not just for scientists and businesses, for a child. What will that mean tomorrow? What it means today, and what it's meant for the past 20 years, is ability to do something. To help our children, to help our cities, but more importantly, to create a window on what's possible, on what we are. I'm not like Superman or hero, I'm average. The Maury Povich Effect has renormalized what a normal Black person is, especially a normal Black man, into something completely different than what our culture is. We came from a resilience that no other culture has known. Not only were our ancestors enslaved, heinously treated, destroyed, separated, while building a country and an economy, we were integrated into that culture and we remain integrated into that culture. And many of us are proud to be part of the country, but the culture itself is broken. And the culture has to be fixed. And we need to build those systems one at a time. I want you to help me do that. Stop thinking that this is Maury Povich. And I want to apologize to any of the city leaders or some of like the CEOs of corporations or executive directors of all the philanthropies out here. I want to apologize if I made it look like you were the producers of the Maury Povich show. I really do. Because you're the guest.
All right. You gotta take nothing, turn it into something. You gotta believe in the power of we. 'Cause ain't nobody in front of your dream. You gotta work and make your dream come true. You gotta take one step closer to knowing where you're going. You gotta reach and achieve your dream, 'cause you know what lies ahead, potential that you can be. Make a path as far as the eye can see. You gotta keep on believing, keep on dreaming, keep on reaching, keep on. I look back over my life, see from where I come.
So, that label, race man, that means you're a man about the business of the race, promoting the race, progress for Black people.